Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. So, just a quick question. Have you noticed how the market's been acting a little confusing lately? Like, one minute everything's looking bearish, and then the next minute Bitcoin is trying to wake up again. And meanwhile, regulators are quietly making moves in the background that could actually matter way more than price right now. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what's actually going on and giving you guys like a clear overview on the current situations and, what to expect and so on. So we're going to be looking at things from SEC moves to Bitcoin order flow shifting and even this kind of like a low-key money printing that is obviously happening behind the scenes that most people aren't even aware of or aren't even talking about. So let's get into it. So first things first, this is actually pretty big. So the SEC, quote SEC that is looking to exclude crypto from certain OTC market rules. So let me just show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Now in simple terms, OTC markets are where a lot of less liquid stocks trade, and there are rules around how brokers quote prices. What the SEC is basically saying is, hey, these rules, they're for traditional stocks. Crypto, doesn't really fit here. And honestly, that's quite a big deal. Because for years, regulators have been trying to force crypto into frameworks that were designed for completely different assets. So this move may suggest something different. They might finally be moving toward a separate rulebook for crypto. And this matters because there will be less confusion for companies, lower compliance friction, and more room for innovation. So overall, this is actually a quietly bullish development. Not hype bullish, but structurally bullish. But regulation is just one side of the story. What's happening inside the market right now is where things actually get really interesting. So let's now take a look into Bitcoin. And as you know, for February, it wasn't too pretty. So what we saw was a heavy selling pressure, negative delta across major exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, and price drops around 30% down to 60k. Now, add in micro stuff, geopolitics, rates, and it kind of makes sense. But that's where things start to shift. So, as you can see, in early March, Delta flipped positive. By the looks of it, buyers are starting to step back in. As you can see, this is the area where the price started making kind of like a reversal, as you can see. And on top of that, we saw about a 1.1 billion flow into Bitcoin and ETFs at the end of February. Now, does this mean we're going to go straight to new highs? Not so fast. What this likely means is we're moving from distribution to early accumulation. So basically, big players might be positioning again, but they're not pushing price aggressively yet. And this is where things get tricky because March can look strong, but then April comes in with a correction. So right now, this is more like a shift in structure and, not a confirmed trend. If you really want to understand what's happening next, keep an eye on these three things. Firstly, being open interest, and that's is leverage building? And then secondly, spot versus derivatives, real demand versus speculation. And then thirdly, liquidity zones, where stops are sitting. Because if leverage overheats, we could easily see another drop before any real move up. Now, here's the part that almost no one is talking about. So this is kind of wild. So what you're currently looking at is the US Treasury buyback its own bonds. And it sounds boring, but here's why it matters. When the government buys back treasuries, it injects cash back into the system. And that money doesn't just sit there. It flows into stocks, commodities, and yes, crypto. It's basically like a softer version of QE. Not officially called money printing, but functionally, it adds liquidity, and crypto loves liquidity. When liquidity increases, risk appetite goes up, capital moves into higher return assets, and crypto usually reacts quickly. And when you combine everything together, regulation gets clearer, buyers slowly returning, and liquidity starts to creep back in. You start to see the bigger picture forming, but again, we're not fully there yet. So, right now, the market is giving us early signals, not confirmation. It's like the engine is starting, but we haven't taken off yet. And honestly, this is usually the phase where the most important positions happen. So, yeah, that's the current state of the market. Things are shifting, but it's still a game of patience. So, if you guys found this useful, drop a like, subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, and let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is the start of a real move or just another fake out? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.